you could do what's called gray rock, which is.
So I've been in a very good place mentally these past couple of days. I went to Okinawa, I was relaxing by myself, and then I was in the last basically last like 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I've been just really zen, hanging out with good people, having good energy around me, eating healthy, no toxicity, nothing around me, right?
Okay.
And I'm in this I didn't realize how good of a mental place I was in, right? There's this Japanese guy at the Gold's Gym in Shibuya that I work out at, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is just always looking for trouble with foreigners. Like
yeah, you told me about him before, right?
This guy's he's a former MMA fighter. He's super racist and he hates foreigners. And so me and my Italian friend, right? Every time we go to the gym, he always he's such a little bitch too. So what he does is he makes eye contact with me and he tries to get me to break the eye contact. And I'm no punk bitch. I'm like, yo, bro, you're gonna do something. I'm fucking hit you in the head with a 10-pound weight and kill you in front of everybody here. I'm not afraid of you, bro. And he tries to intimidate me and my buddy, right? Obviously I'm not gonna kill him, blah, 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 don't sue me.
Yeah.
But he has such a negative aura and negativity about him. And I was just in such a good place when I went to the gym, and my buddy Federico was like, damn, bro, you're just fucking glowing today, right?
Yeah.
And, because I'm just in such a good place. And then to see this guy and just even looking at him and even dude, I was in such a good mood. I walked into the locker room and instinctively I was just like, oh, hey, how you doing? Just not even trying to be facetious, just like, hey, how's it going? Just waving and what's up? I know you hate your life.
That's
right?
how I am. What's up, man? I say hi to everyone. Yeah.
And so what's funny is, he ended up going and complaining to the staff, and he says hey, I don't like the way these guys are looking at me. They look at me too much, and the Japanese staff, they're like, okay, well, he's Japanese, we're gonna stick up for him. And so they brought me and my buddy outside, and they're like, hey, we know this guy's trouble. Just please don't look at him. Please don't look in his direction. I was just like, bro, fuck that shit and fuck that guy. But even entertaining, even defending his negativity pulled me down and pulled me out of my zone.
Yeah.
How would you handle that? What would you do in this situation?
I would, first off, we're not immune from it happening and, temporarily kind of, affecting our day somewhat, So I would say do whatever it takes to get, minimal interaction with that guy. And so just avoid him as much as possible. And when it happens, you can counter it with an affirmation right there. You can say, hey, man, he's just having a bad day. Or the thought that comes to my mind as you're talking about this guy is what kind of trauma does this guy have in him? Because I guarantee you he has a shit ton. A healthy, happy person who had a good childhood where they had, all this, love and discipline too. And hey, you got to do this and, be a productive member of society, do your chores, son, but good upbringing, love. They don't go around treating others like this. They don't. This is people who have, messed up stuff in them, toxic. Yeah, Simon Thompson, toxic, 100%. That toxicity comes from somewhere. And if they're like that all the time, then that is evidence of subconscious programs, which are static, which are there all the time. If you have bad trauma in you, it may be low level, but or we may even disconnect it so we don't feel it, but it's there 24/7 affecting us one way or another. Even if we disconnect from this stuff, and this is why people, turn to alcohol, get addicted to different stuff, binge watch TV, zone out of society, have their escapism, because that's the only way they can disconnect and escape from it. The rest of the time, maybe even at just a low level, they feel this crap. When I had my trauma, it's like if I just sit there and don't do anything, I'll start to feel crappy. If I had a day where I didn't, if I was playing video games and stuff, I'd actually feel a lot better because I'd escape from it. But if I didn't do anything to escape, I start feeling like crap because this stuff starts percolating up, you know? So yeah, avoid, you could do what's called gray rock, which is any interaction with him you make as boring and neutral as possible and avoid him the rest of the time. But then you can counter it. You can say, hey man, he's just having a bad day. Hey man, my day is awesome. Man, I am grateful that I have the life I have and don't have to deal with his shit. I mean, you could say stuff like that to just counteract it right out.
Like, I know how to handle it. And at the end of the day, you know, I talk because Federico, he's a young man. He's 26. And Federico is not as like bold as I am. And that's not me like insulting my friend. I love that guy to death. I can knock somebody out for him. But Federico kind of like the guy kind of, he escalates his bullying. Now he like kind of nudges my buddy. And when they walk past and he hits him with the shoulders and stuff, he tried to do that with me. I was doing cable flies, right?
Yeah, you told me, yeah.
And he walked in front of like where I was gonna be, and I was like, "Motherfucker, you walk in front of me, I'm punching you." Yeah. And I hit him. And ever since that day, because I can tell he's not really a strong person.
Yeah.
Bullies like this guy who are super toxic, super negative. Bullies only respond to power. So when I hit him, you know, he especially being Japanese, like nobody in Japanese society would ever hit him. But I hit him, and I was just like, "Oh, tough shit, man. You know, you got in front of me. That's tough. Like, you want to go outside and talk about it? Well, let's go. I mean, I can get outside real quick." And of course, what does he do? He runs and tattletales to the staff. You know how old this guy is? This guy's 44 years old.
Bullies are trying to get power. And
44 years old, Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah. He's been a bully his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to get power because they feel powerless. And, you know, it's like you're a kid, your dad beats you, you feel powerless. How can you counteract that? Well, one way to counteract that is find someone smaller that you can beat up on, and now you reclaim your power. You're like, well, I got it beat up, but look, I still have power. I beat up this kid. They're trying to get power because they feel powerless.
Filthy Casual says, "What grown man tattletales?"
Yeah,
the grown man at Shibuya Gold's gym.
I think Karen, that's Karen behavior.
You know, it's funny. His hair's dyed blonde too.